In the last minute before submitting the college entrance exam choices, Christiana changed my application to Peking University. She said to me, "Jacob didn't do well this time. Let's stay with him for a year and retake the exam together. You know, he can't do without me." I stared blankly at Christiana, who wore a victorious expression. So, for her little childhood friend, she could sacrifice me without hesitation. Later, I received a message from Christiana in front of the Peking University campus. "Oliver, where did you go? The opening ceremony for the retake class is about to start." I smiled, then blocked her number. "Goodbye, Christiana. I won't play house with you anymore." Chapter 1. When Christiana changed my application, there was only 1 minute left before the deadline. She deliberately timed it, changing the already agreed upon Aerospace University to Peking University. "Jacob didn't do well this time. I promised to stay with him for a year to retake the exam. You should come with us. You know, he can't do without me." Seeing her triumphant look, I finally realized that she had purposely raised my application score so that I wouldn't be admitted. She wanted me to retake the exam alongside her little childhood friend. I stared at Christiana. After a long pause, I finally asked with a trembling voice, "Christiana, did you forget? We had already agreed to go to Aerospace University together." Christiana's eyes flickered. "I didn't forget, Oliver. But what about Jacob? He didn't do well this time. He's feeling down, and I promised to stay with him to retake the exam." She tugged at my sleeve. "I know you can't live without me, and I don't want to be apart from you. So, after thinking it over, I believe it's best if the three of us retake the exam together." You can't live without me." I smiled bitterly. For the past 3 years, I had said that sentence to her countless times, treating Christiana as my salvation. Now, it had become her reason to selfishly sacrifice me. How is this even a sacrifice? Hearing myself say this without thinking, Christiana furrowed her brows impatiently. "Oliver, your grades are so good. Even if you retake the exam for another year, you'll still be able to get into college. Then, we can all go to university together with Jacob. Isn't that better?" The words, "go together," pierced my heart. Just a few days ago, when Christiana confessed to me, she said this was our dream, the dream of just the two of us. I had thought it was finally coming true, and I was so excited that I couldn't sleep well for several days. But now, everything suddenly changed. I took a deep breath. What if I don't want to retake the exam? Christiana's face turned cold. "Oliver, can you stop being so selfish? You know Jacob can't do without your tutoring." I understood. Maybe this was the real reason she was dragging me into retaking the exam. Just as I was about to speak, the doorbell rang, and Christiana's little childhood friend, Jacob, stood at the door. He looked at me shyly. "Oliver, I'm here to see Christiana. Can I come in?" Looking at his innocent face, a dark cloud rose in my heart. Before the exam, he had used every excuse to cling to me, asking me to explain the most basic math problems over and over again. He had taken up a lot of my review time. Then, he turned around and complained to Christiana, saying that I refused to tutor him. During that time, Christiana and I argued a lot because of Jacob. I thought that once the exams were over, everything would be finished, but I never expected to still be unable to shake off this ghost. Chapter 2. Seeing that I didn't move, Jacob's eyes immediately turned red. "Oliver, please don't be angry. I know I shouldn't interrupt you and Christiana, but I'm really scared. I'm afraid I won't get into university, and then I'll never see you guys again. I'll leave now. I won't bother you anymore," he said as he turned to leave, but suddenly tripped and fell. "Oliver, what are you doing?" Christiana rushed past me from behind and helped Jacob up. "You can take out your anger on me, but don't make things difficult for Jacob." Jacob hid behind Christiana, awkwardly tugging at her sleeve. "Christiana, don't blame Oliver. He didn't mean to push me." Here we go again. I could no longer hold it in. "Stop lying through your teeth. I didn't push you at all." "Enough." Christiana angrily interrupted me. "Oliver, I didn't expect you to be so unreasonable now. Jacob always speaks highly of you in front of me, saying that you didn't mean to neglect him while tutoring, that he's the one who's too slow to learn. Now it seems, just like the others said, you're just jealous of Jacob and deliberately made sure he didn't get into university." She glared at me coldly. "Maybe I should never have saved you in the first place." As soon as the words left her mouth, both Jacob and I froze. My memory was instantly pulled back to that rainy night when I was 15. My drunk stepfather knocked my mother unconscious, and I ran out of the house, covered in wounds. On the way, I met Christiana. She helped bandage my wounds and took me to the police station to find her dad. Christiana's dad was a police officer, and he sent my stepfather to prison, ending years of nightmares for me. But my mother hated me for it, blaming me for getting involved and causing her to lose her love. In the end, she jumped off the rooftop in front of me. My classmates spread rumors about me, isolated me, and even bullied me, saying I was the one who caused my mother's death. I developed depression because of that. It was Christiana who stayed by my side and helped me step by step through it. She went to school with me, did homework with me, ran with me in the mornings, and participated in science competitions together. She knew I dreamed of escaping this place, so we made a promise to get into our ideal aerospace university and start a new future. Unconsciously, I fell in love with Christiana. She was my salvation, the light that brightened my life. She was the one who understood me the most, and she also knew exactly where to strike to hurt me the most. Just like now, in front of Jacob, she ruthlessly uncovered my scars. I stared at her, unable to believe she would say something like that. She met my gaze for a moment, and a flicker of guilt flashed in her eyes. Her tone softened. Forget it. If you apologize to Jacob, I'll forgive you. I smiled bitterly, my eyes burning. Why should I? I was the one being wronged. I was the one whose scars were exposed in front of everyone, and I'm the one who has to apologize. Christiana, don't be mad at Oliver. After all, his mom already. Jacob covered his mouth. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. He winked at me from behind Christiana, his eyes full of concealed smugness. Oliver, don't blame Christiana. She's just worried about me. She didn't mean to bring up your sad memories. Christiana frowned at me. Look at how generous Jacob is, and then look at you. I clenched my fists, desperately holding back my anger. In the past, whenever a classmate spread rumors about my stepfather, Christiana would always be the first to stand up for me. But now, she let Jacob throw these insults at me. I won't apologize, I said coldly. Oliver. Christiana's face darkened again, and she gritted her teeth. Fine, no apology. Either way, I've already changed your application. This is what you owe Jacob, unless you can get into Beijing University. Otherwise, whether you want to or not, you'll retake the exam. With that, she turned around, supporting Jacob, and left. I sneered as I watched the back of the figure I had once cherished so much. Christiana, how do you know I can't? Chapter 3. From that day on, Christiana didn't speak to me for several days. In the past, when she was angry, she would just give me the silent treatment. She knew that if she didn't talk to me for a few days, I would eventually surrender and reach out to her. But this time, I didn't make the first move. She posted a few updates about Jacob looking for study materials. In the photos, Jacob was holding a thick stack of books, pulling a funny face at her. She captioned it, "Another day of helping the little brat study." Students left comments, all liking the post. Some asked, "Is this your new love? No room for the old one. Where's Oliver? Is he crying in the bathroom? Ha ha ha." Has the love triangle finally made a choice, waiting for Oliver to beg for reconciliation in tears? In the past, Christiana would have replied to each comment, scolding everyone until the classmates apologized to me in the comments. But now, Christiana didn't say a word, letting the disgusting comments pile up more and more. I knew she was trying to force me to apologize first, but I refused to. The classmates continued gossiping behind my back, waiting for me to embarrass myself. Without Christiana protecting me, they became bolder, even starting to make fun of me in group chats. I couldn't be bothered. Then, the next second, Jacob actually mentioned my application being changed to Beijing University in the group. No way. Did Oliver lose it? With his score, can he even get into Beijing? Does he think Beijing is his family's school, that he can just walk in? Isn't he always pretending to be a top student? This time, he's definitely going to be slapped in the face. Get ready to watch the show. Then, I received a private message from Christiana. "Oliver, if you apologize to Jacob, I'll help you deal with them." I didn't respond. She called me directly. "Oliver, do you really have to be this stubborn?" I didn't say anything, gritting my teeth and holding back the hurt. I couldn't stop myself from sniffing, and Christiana's voice immediately softened. "Are you crying?" "I admit, I shouldn't have uncovered your scars in front of Jacob that day. That was wrong. How about this? You apologize to Jacob, and then come over to tutor him. Retake time is precious. We need to start helping him every minute from now on." On the other end, I heard Jacob's lively voice. "Oliver, hurry over. I have so many problems I can't solve. I need to ask you." I hung up the phone directly. Christiana sent another message. "You can keep silent if you want, but I want to see how long you can hold out. When you come crying to apologize, we won't forgive you." I sneered. Who's the one that won't forgive who? The next second, my phone rang again. It was a call from the homeroom teacher, confirming my application to Beijing University. I answered honestly. After hanging up, I saw that the homeroom teacher had criticized the classmates who mocked me in the group. She even singled out Jacob. Some students failed to get into university, and instead of focusing on studying to catch up, they're wasting time worrying about what others are applying to. If you don't focus on your studies and keep stirring up trouble, it won't make a difference if you retake the exam. There was a few seconds of silence in the group. Jacob left the group. Christiana sent me a private message. "Are you happy now?" She also left the class group. Chapter 4. I thought this matter was finally coming to an end, but unexpectedly, that night, Christiana suddenly called me. "Oliver, Something happened to Jacob. Hurry over. Christiana's voice on the phone was filled with panic I'd never heard before. Afraid I might hang up, she added quickly. He said he doesn't want to live anymore. I gripped my phone tightly, my knuckles turning white, my body trembling uncontrollably. I rushed to Jacob's house in a cab. He was sitting on the rooftop, his eyes bloodshot, his expression dazed. Through his sobs, he was recounting his grievances. Christiana was standing beside him, cautiously trying to comfort him. When he saw me, Jacob's emotions suddenly flared up. He screamed at the top of his lungs, "Don't come near me, just let me die." The teacher was right. I can't get into college, and even if I retake the exam for another year, it won't matter. What's the point of me living anymore? Jacob, don't do this. Let's talk about this calmly. I tried to comfort him. He looked at me, and a flash of malice crossed his eyes. But living is too painful, Oliver. The biggest regret of my life is not ending it sooner. I froze, my face turning ashen. The most painful memory deep within me was stirred, dragging my soul back to that night when my mother took her own life right in front of me. The biggest regret of my life is not ending it sooner. Those were the last words my mother said to me before she jumped off the rooftop. My body trembled violently. The despair when my mother died, the gossiping of relatives and neighbors, the isolation and bullying from classmates, those haunting, gray memories rushed at me like demons, clawing at me. I covered my ears and tried to turn away to escape, but Christiana grabbed my arm and pulled me back. Her eyes red with urgency. Oliver, apologize to Jacob right now. Do you want him to end up like your mother, driven to death by you? Tears flooded my eyes, and Christiana before me blurred into doubles. I heard myself screaming hoarsely, "No, it wasn't me. I didn't drive her to die." In the next second, my legs gave way, and I lost consciousness. Chapter 5. When I woke up, I found myself lying on a hospital bed. The homeroom teacher was sitting beside me, looking at me with a worried expression. He told me that Jacob was fine and that it was thanks to the call I made before I left that helped him. Oliver, I understand your situation. He looked at my pale face and sighed. Don't worry, I've contacted a psychologist for you. They'll be here soon to help you with counseling. I nodded, feeling grateful. For the next few days, I remained in the hospital receiving treatment. Christiana didn't come to see me, because the homeroom teacher had scolded her and Jacob harshly. She was afraid Jacob might be further affected, so she stayed by his side every minute of the day. It wasn't until my birthday that she sent me a message. She asked if I was still angry. In her eyes, I was still holding a grudge against her. I didn't reply, and she didn't try to reach out again. Instead, she kept updating her posts with pictures of her and Jacob, studying together at the library, running together, eating together, watching movies together, like glue, inseparable. I knew she was doing this on purpose to show me, but I no longer cared. On the day I was discharged from the hospital, I received my admission letter from Peking University. I immediately called my homeroom teacher to share the news. Her voice on the other end of the line was filled with excitement. Oliver, I knew your scores would get you in. Yes, my scores were high. When the results came out, I had purposely downplayed my score to be able to attend the promised aerospace university with Christiana. The homeroom teacher even had a talk with me about it. But my persistence had only led to Christiana's betrayal. When school started, I was standing in front of the Beijing University campus, and I received a message from Christiana. Oliver, the opening ceremony is about to start. Why haven't you reported to the retake class yet? Stop being mad. Come on, Jacob and I are waiting for you. I smiled, took a picture of the Beijing campus and the admission letter, and sent it to her. Thanks for picking such a great school for me. I wish you and Jacob the best with your retakes. Then, I blocked her. Goodbye, Christiana. I won't play house with you anymore. Chapter 6. University life was even more colorful than I had imagined. New classmates, new courses, new club activities, everything felt so fresh. I was like a bird that had escaped its cage, soaring into a new life full of freedom. I made a group of like-minded friends. We went to class together, studied together in the library, ate and drank together, sharing each other's joys and sorrows. The gray days of high school seemed to be drifting farther and farther away. Sometimes, when I thought about it, it felt like I was reminiscing about a past life, vague and blurred. Blocking Christiana was the beginning of my psychological liberation from my dependence on her. I thought it would be hard. After all, everyone had seen the 3 years of reliance, and even Christiana herself had said I couldn't live without her. But to my surprise, after cutting off contact for a while, I realized that the sky didn't fall after all. I suddenly understood. It turns out, I was the one who was my most solid support. Meanwhile, Christiana had become almost frantic, constantly changing her phone numbers and calling me. A bombardment of messages. At first, I tried to ignore them, but eventually, it became too much. I had no choice but to block her one after another. When the first semester was almost over, Christiana showed up at school. She was holding a box of chocolates. standing under the boys' dormitory building, blocking my way as I was returning from the library. Oliver, I finally found you. When she saw me, her eyes lit up, and she immediately rushed over. Oliver, I miss you so much. I brought you your favorite chocolates. Christiana's gaze was intense, but I took 2 steps back, creating some distance between us. Is there something you need? I asked coldly, my tone completely devoid of warmth. Her eyes dimmed. I thought you'd be happy to see me. I didn't respond and simply looked at her. She was still wearing the white dress I had given her on her 17th birthday, but she looked much thinner now. There was a faint blue tint under her eyes, making her look both tired and worn out. She no longer had the beauty of the campus queen from before. Many students passed by, casting strange glances at us. Christiana seemed embarrassed and stepped forward, shoving the chocolates into my hands. Oliver, how long are you going to stay angry? There has to be a limit to how long you can sulk. You scored so high on the exam and didn't even tell me. You came to Beijing all by yourself without saying a word. I haven't even held that against you. Can you stop being mad at me now? I stared at her in shock, almost not believing my ears. Did I hear that right? She came all the way to find me, but didn't apologize for anything that had happened before. Instead, she was blaming me. Excuse me, how exactly did I come to Beijing? I asked, a half smile on my face. Christiana's expression froze. Oliver, it's been so long. Why are you still holding on to this? You got into a better university, didn't you? It's not like you've lost anything. Compared to Jacob, my face darkened. Christiana thought I was upset because she mentioned Jacob, and she quickly tried to explain. Oliver, there's nothing between me and Jacob. I only see him as a little brother. The person I truly like is you. Oliver, I know you're mad because you're jealous. It's all my fault. Please don't be mad at me anymore. Okay. Chapter 7. She looked at me, her eyes full of expectation. Christiana, do you think too highly of yourself? I suddenly found this situation meaningless. Why did she think that after everything she had done to hurt me, all it would take was for her to beckon with a finger and I would instantly forgive her and go back to her side? Am I that pathetic? I was already planning to leave the past behind, but it seems like unless I make myself clear today, you won't give up. I admit, when the exam results came out, I chose to hide my high score, but that was because I had already decided I wanted to go to Aerospace University with you. Even when the homeroom teacher talked to me about it, I didn't waver. But you, for your little childhood friend, you didn't hesitate to betray the promise we made. Christiana, why do you think others should sacrifice for your saintly heart? Christiana stared at me, her mouth opening and closing, but no sound came out. I remembered watching Christiana participate in debates at school. She had been so eloquent, silencing everyone around her. Her presence powerful and unmatched. That image was deeply etched in my mind. Now, the tired and weary figure before me was so different from the bright, shining girl I once knew. Christiana had always been the school beauty and a top student. In the first 2 years of high school, her grades were always on par with mine. In the 3rd year, with Jacob joining the picture, she became distracted. Her grades started to fall behind mine. I knew she had a strong sense of pride, so I always made sure to maintain a similar ranking to her. Over time, in her mind, I had become the one who belonged at that rank, so she felt no hesitation in changing my college application, because she thought there was no way I could get into Beijing. Oliver, I didn't think it through. I just wanted to help Jacob. I thought, with your grades being so good, the 3 of us would have no problem retaking the exam together. So I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Just because my grades are good, I should be sacrificed. What kind of robber logic is that? You really deserve it. Christiana, you knew how much I wanted to escape that place. I couldn't stop my eyes from reddening, and tears fell onto the chocolate box. You knew what I went through. You knew how much my mother's death devastated me, yet you let Jacob attack me with it again and again. I didn't mean to. Jacob didn't do it on purpose. Christiana's face turned frantic, still defending Jacob. No. Then why did Jacob know the last words my mom said before she died? I only told you that secret. I closed my eyes, taking a deep breath. I tried to control my body to stop it from shaking. All this time, I thought I had gotten over it, but I hadn't. I had just buried that scar deeper inside me. Every time I recalled Jacob's staged suicide, I could still feel the suffocating malice and betrayal. When I thought about it, there was only one possibility. Christiana had told Jacob my deepest, most painful secret, and Jacob had used that secret to blow the most venomous whistle against me. Chapter 8. Christiana couldn't look me in the eye, a fleeting moment of guilt flashing across her face. I'm sorry, Oliver. I didn't think Jacob would. Then what about you? I glared at her, my voice full of bitterness. Do you also think I'm the one who caused my mom's death? Christiana, answer me. I stared into her eyes, waiting for her answer. I could ignore the malice of others, because they had never given me warmth or support. But Christiana, she was the one I had once seen as my only support. She was the one who had helped me walk out of the darkness and helped me believe in hope again. And in the end, she was the one who drove a fatal knife into my chest. Christiana ran. I saw her face finally reflect realization and deep shame. In the end, she couldn't even bear to look at me. She fled in panic. I threw the chocolate into the trash, and life returned to its peaceful state. But I knew this peace was temporary. As long as the bloody scar in my heart wasn't healed, that suffocating malice would occasionally resurface to gnaw at me. I had to take the initiative, face it, and confront it. I wouldn't allow anyone the chance to use my past to manipulate me again. I borrowed every psychology book and course available in the library, and after gaining some basic understanding and knowledge, I enrolled in a psychology research course. Unlike the treatment with a psychologist, this was a process of learning. I began to explore the deep fears and anxieties buried in my heart. I started to learn how to make peace with myself. The past couldn't be changed, but I could choose how to face the future. Oliver, would you like to go for dinner after class today? A soft voice sounded beside me. I looked up and saw Ava's clear eyes, smiling at me. She was the teaching assistant for the course and a graduate student in Beijing. No, senior, you go ahead. Today's class was a bit difficult, and I need some time to digest a few things. I responded casually, then lowered my head to focus on the book in my hands. Don't push yourself too hard. Learning is a gradual process. It's not something that can be rushed. Ava handed me a cup of water and sat down beside me. You can ask me anything you don't understand. I'll be here whenever you need me. The warm water soothed my throat, and a sense of warmth filled my heart. Since I met Ava in this psychology research class, she had invited me to dinner multiple times. Her intentions were unspoken but clear. After several invitations, I couldn't refuse anymore, and I went to dinner with her a few times, but more often than not, I still found excuses to decline. She wasn't in a hurry, silently staying by my side, neither too close nor too far, maintaining a comfortable and safe distance for me. She only appeared when I truly needed help. Honestly, I didn't dislike her. I had seen her speak gently in class, passionately lecture on stage in Beijing, rescue stray animals, and dance gracefully on stage, her movements light and ethereal. In my heart, she was a warm, firm, and healing person, the kind of person I longed to become. If this had been before, I would have clung to someone like her as my lifeline, grabbing hold tightly when she extended her hand. But now, I had learned not to rely on anyone. I had to protect myself. Chapter 9. During the winter break, I returned to my hometown. With the money I earned from my part-time job, I brought some Beijing specialties for the homeroom teacher. She happily greeted me, bustling around, making my favorite dishes, and listening to me share stories about university life, just like welcoming a son returning home from afar. Oliver, you've changed so much. You've become strong and determined. I'm really proud of you. Thank you, teacher. I smiled as I said. After leaving the teacher's house, I went to the supermarket. I bought some New Year's goods, then cleaned the house inside and out, planning to spend a simple New Year at home. As I was in the middle of all this, suddenly someone knocked on the door. I opened it to find Jacob standing at the doorstep, looking at me with a complicated expression. The timid look on his face was gone, replaced with hatred and resentment. The facade had been dropped. This was the real him. Oliver, what did you say to Christiana? Why did she go to Beijing to find you? And after she came back, she stopped talking to me completely. He stared at me intently, as if searching for an answer on my face, but unfortunately, my face revealed nothing. I've never understood. What exactly makes you better than me? I was the first one to know Christiana. I grew up with her as childhood friends. Before high school, we were inseparable, together every day, and we liked each other long ago. If it wasn't for you coming in the way, we would have been together by now, he yelled, his voice twisted with bitterness, making it uncomfortable to listen to. You two can be together now. No one's stopping you, I said, trying to close the door, but he forcefully wedged himself against the doorframe. Oliver, don't get smug. So what if you're in Beijing? Christiana's choice to sacrifice you to stay with me for the retake proves that I am the one who matters most to her. Did you come all the way here just to say this nonsense? I felt helpless. What was the point of him coming to me? Christiana wasn't talking to him. What could I do about it? I wasn't her father. I couldn't control her thoughts. Seeing that I wasn't upset or angry, Jacob's face twisted into an even more vicious and malicious expression. He screamed at me hysterically. Oliver, don't think I don't know what kind of person you are. You're just the star that killed your mother, and you've got depression. If you're really depressed, why don't you just die? You shouldn't even be alive in this world. I suddenly let go of the door and took a step back. Jacob lunged forward and fell hard to the ground, landing face first in a painful crash. Oliver, you. He looked up at me, glaring with hatred. In the next second, I grabbed his hair and yanked him up, landing 2 hard punches. If reason didn't work, I knew how to use my fists. He practically handed himself over to me. Jacob was dazed by the punches. His cheeks swelled up quickly, and he covered his face with both hands, glaring at me fiercely. You dared to hit me. You're finished. I'm going to tell Christiana. Before he could finish his sentence, Christiana's figure appeared around the corner. Christiana, help. I came here to visit Oliver out of goodwill, but he's still angry about what happened before. I apologized to him, but he hit me. Jacob's face changed instantly, and he adopted that pitiful look again. He clung to Christiana's sleeve, as if about to cry. Chapter 10. The familiar scene from the day of the college application changes played out once again at my doorstep. I clenched my fist, watching Christiana warily. I never hit women, but she better not push me. This time, I wasn't going to be the fool. Unexpectedly, Christiana pushed Jacob aside. She looked at him coldly, her expression devoid of any concern, her tone chillingly icy. Didn't I tell you not to bother Oliver again? Can't you understand? Jacob froze, then grabbed Christiana's hand with tearful eyes. Christiana, I really just came to see Oliver. He hit me first. Enough. Christiana shoved Jacob away, her disgust obvious, as if he were something filthy. I've had enough of your disgusting behavior. Get lost. Jacob's face went pale, and he ran away, crying. After he left, Christiana walked up to me and handed me a food container. My dad asked me to bring this to you, since I knew you were back for the new year. I stared blankly at the still warm food container, thinking of Christiana's dad, the good police officer who had helped me escape my stepfather's clutches. After my mother's suicide, I lived alone for a long time. Christiana would often bring me food from home, and the thing she brought most often were dumplings made by her father. Please thank your dad for me. I took the dumplings, and suddenly, my anger seemed to dissipate. For the sake of these dumplings, I decided not to say anything harsh today. Looking at Christiana now, so thin and weary, with no spark in her eyes, it seemed like a gentle touch would break her. There was none of the lively, cheerful energy from before. She silently watched me, and I calmly met her gaze. After a long silence, she finally spoke. Oliver, if I go to Beijing this time, would you still be with me? No. I shook my head, seemingly caught off guard by my quick rejection. She hurriedly said, you don't have to answer so fast. You can think about it. Give me some time. Let me show you that I truly understand my mistakes. Give me a chance, please. Oliver, wait for me. I'll definitely come to Beijing to find you. I stayed silent. I knew Christiana too well. If something puzzled her, she would get fixated on it. Once she got stubborn, no one's words could reach her. So, I didn't say anything more. I only silently answered in my heart, no, Christiana, no matter what you do, there is no possibility for us anymore. And who said getting into Beijing was as easy as deciding to go? Did she think she was me? After Christiana left, I started preparing for the New Year's Eve dinner on my own. I made a small hot pot with all my favorite dishes, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I sat happily, watching the TV variety show, and had a quiet, peaceful New Year's Eve. I was really happy that I had controlled my emotions today. Whether it was Jacob or Christiana, their provocations and guilt trips no longer affected me. The past was nothing but a fleeting memory, slowly fading from my life. It no longer held any weight. The things I once feared could no longer harm me, because I had learned to resist fear. I had learned to protect myself. Chapter 11. In the blink of an eye, several years had passed. I graduated from university and chose to pursue a master's degree in psychology in Beijing, while Ava successfully entered her PhD program. In my third year, she, who had silently stood by my side all these years, confessed her feelings for me, and I happily accepted. After years of getting to know each other, we had developed a deep understanding and had become partners who complemented each other. I learned a profound lesson. No matter what kind of close relationship it is, if one person always needs the other to provide salvation, that relationship will eventually collapse and deform. No one can be constantly relied upon or exploited by the other. Only when both individuals grow strong enough to become complete, independent souls can they support each other in love and grow together. Just like Ava and me, we respect and understand each other, yet we also depend on one another. We stand side by side, facing the challenges of life together. This kind of love can last and be stable, making us better people with each other's companionship. As for Christiana, who once shouted that she would get into Beijing and that I should wait for her, she repeatedly failed the college entrance exam and had to retake it. Like a trapped beast, she spun in circles, each year worse than the last. In the end, she didn't even make it to the undergraduate line, barely making it into a vocational college. The once vibrant, shining girl had her edges worn away. She became anxious and irritable, resorting to alcohol to numb herself. She developed a drinking problem. After graduation, I sold my house back home and never returned. Christiana never tried to contact me again. She probably had no face left to meet me. But Jacob didn't give up. He kept clinging to her. When I was in my second year of graduate school, I heard that Christiana, drunk, stabbed Jacob at her doorstep. 22 stabs, each one aimed at a vital point. While stabbing him, she shouted, "It's all your fault. You're the one who ruined my chance to go to aerospace university. I retook the exam for so many years, and now I can't even get into any university. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You made me unable to hold my head up in front of everyone. You've ruined my life. I'm going to kill you. Kill you." I heard that Christiana's father personally arrested her. That righteous, warm old policeman ended up sending his own daughter to prison. I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions when I heard this. Christiana's ending was somewhat unexpected, but in a way, it seemed like it was meant to happen. Life is like that. Once the gears of fate veer off track, it's hard to return to the right path. Cause and effect, what you sow, you reap. Everyone must pay the price for their choices and can't blame anyone else. After completing my graduate studies, Ava and I got married. The next year, she gave birth to a lovely daughter. I started my own company, which was doing well, and hired a nanny to take care of the child, giving Ava enough time and energy to focus on her career. Every day, I came home to my wife and child, a warm home, and the happiness was overwhelming. She often nestled in my arms, smiling and saying, "Husband, marrying you was the best decision I ever made. I'm so lucky to have you." I held her tightly, feeling the warmth of our home, my heart filled with gratitude. Perhaps fate had been unfair to me once, making me endure much pain and hardship, but in the end, it led me to the shores of happiness. Life is like that, full of uncertainties and challenges. Only by facing them with courage can you eventually find your own happiness. And I have finally found mine.